Okay. Alright. I'm live. I'm live. Wow. Okay. So we have that. There, let me do that. We here, of course. Alright. Then we send out this one. Yo, what's good, Howard? Yes, for some reason, it wouldn't let me log in. It was like, oh, I guess my token had expired. I don't know what was up with that when I hit go live, but I'm here. Let me send out my last things that I always send out. I don't know why it's like this right now. Let me. Okay, here. Boom. Let me go here. Let me do this. Let me do this. Okay, so we share there. Let me go over here. This. Are you in? Actually, yeah, we are. I beat Volkner and I'm in Victory Road right now. So, as soon as I get to, not Victory Road, as soon as I get to Elite Four, I'm gonna stop. I'm gonna play all of that live, and then after that, we'll be able to debate pretty much. I think. Then once we do that, we should be good. All right, your boy is good. How are you doing, Howard? You good? Oh, wait, what'd you say? I'm also excited to not buy Arceus on day one. Well, I am excited to buy it on day one. Because I'm going to play that in stream when it comes out. Yeah, we're gonna take a little bit of a break from Bug Fables. And we're gonna tackle some Arceus. That's gonna be like the brunt of what we're gonna do. I'm definitely gonna buy it day one. I mean, you are a diehard Pokemon fan, Adam. You don't have another choice. You have to. So you can complain. True. I mean, I'll be able to complain too. I'll be able to complain live if I have any problems. Let me see. What day does it come out on? I believe it's the 28th, right? So what day is the 28th? The 28th is a Friday. I may do a Friday stream to start off with Arceus on day one, and then we'll pick up again on Monday and Tuesday. Yeah. You're gonna import the Japanese Arceus promo card? Adam, I think you're in too deep, dog. I think you are in way too deep. There we go. Beautiful. I think you're in too deep, dog. Oh man. Let me check out this card real quick. Let me see this card. Let's see. Dang. That does look like a nice card, but is it good though? Will it be good in competitive play? I don't know. Okay, but RC said, oh, yeah, NFTs. I hear a lot of companies are doing NFT stuff, like Konami. They just announced like their NFT for Castlevania. So that's leading toward a trend of companies just using NFTs for cash infusions. Yeah, and then Pokemon's gonna have the best cash infusion of all. Because who doesn't want an NFT of Pikachu? Or Arceus, or any of their favorite Pokemon. I mean, I'm gonna get my NFT of Pichu, so, you know, I'll be part of the problem, of course. It probably won't come out any. Oh, okay. All Alright, well, if it won't come out in English, then it won't be legal. Wait. Doesn't Pokemon have, like, a different, like, list in Japan? Is it not like Yu-Gi-Oh! Where they have, like, PCG versus OCG? Or is Pokemon just all one card pool all at one time? Because if it's all one card pool at one time, I guess that makes sense. Okay, English as a standard. Okay, all right, that makes sense then. That makes sense. I can't really complain at all. Japan and US have different sets that come out. I like this song a lot. I know it's so good, right? The song is so good. Snail's House is just always good. They're just always good. That was what? Lullaby? Or no? What was it? Let me see. Oh no. Yeah, it was Coco. It was Coco. All right. Oh. Oh, yo, what's up, Sydney? You were using an Adam's account, so I was fooled. We're both Adam? Well, you can't both me Adam because that viewers count definitely does not go up. So I'm gonna need one of you to be Adam and one of you be Sydney. Gotta pump up these numbers. I'm just joking. Okay. Yo, if you're Sydney, yo. Hold on a second. Wait. Should I call Sydney or Adam? Who do I call, Sydney? Who? Okay. All right. Well, let's go ahead and do this. Wrong one. There we go. Whoa! And then we call... I'm here on my iPad. Yes! Yes, let's go! This is how we bump up these numbers. Yes! All right, and we are calling Sydney right now. Wait, what was your title? Oh, wait, Adam, wait, change it back. I was fixing stuff when I was like messing with it earlier, so I might not have seen the title that you put. Wait, change it back to the title you had before. I didn't know you had made one. Wow. Am I getting ignored by the Sydney? Oh, it wasn't clever. Oh, okay. Well, you know, I just didn't know. I just didn't know, Adam. Oh, okay. Okay. Up. Is that...
Hello.
Oh, God. Is that Sydney?
Oh, God. Hold on. I need to fix something.
Is my voice appearing from 8 places at once?
No, it's only appearing from the actual computer. Oh, no. Is this right? Speak?
Speak?
Oh, okay, okay, thank God.
Sydney!
I'm not used to fixing the audio on Adam's computer, and there were like 5 different options for where the sound should come out of, and I was like, I hope this is the right one.
There's this one. Yo,
thankfully it was called headphones.
Exactly. So what's up, Sydney? What's good? How are you doing?
Not too bad. Better now that that's fixed. I panicked for a second. You know, all's good though.
Did you watch the movies for today's assignment?
I did. I watched all of them.
You watched all of them. I watched 2 of them. I didn't watch Zootopia because I feel like that was recent enough in my memory where I could get away without having to watch that.
Fair.
But I definitely did watch Dinosaur. Dinosaur first time. Never saw it. And then Bolt, I watched again because I hadn't seen it in like, I don't know, a bunch of years. And yeah, I think I'm ready. I think I have a good idea and a good vision of what these movies are about.
That is very good because I forget a lot of them because they weren't that impactful.
What? Come on, Sydney. Yes, they were. What do you mean? Well, you know what? Let's go ahead and talk about it. So, we have our tier list here of all of our movies, And everybody knows today that we're doing Dinosaur, Bolt, and Zootopia. But my question is, how do we grade these? Like, how are we doing this, Sydney? If you could give me just a quick refresher, that'd be great.
A quick refresher. I can
Yeah.
do that. We have 2 categories, a high weight and a low weight category. The low weights are rated on a scale of 1 to 5, and high weights are rated on a scale of 1 to 10. For our low rates, we have antagonist or villain for the movie. Who is the antagonistic force or the outright villain? We have animation / style. What kind of style was Disney using at the time? Does it look good? Does it look pretty? Does it look ugly as sin? Hint for today. Voice cast / voice acting. How well a voice fits a certain character? Do we feel that their line delivery was good? Were they having a good time? Were they just there for a paycheck? How did it age? Pretty subjective point, but also things that may cause controversy, or just general messages in general that have changed over time. And then we go into our high weight category, which is characters as a whole, meaning the whole cast, side characters, comic relief included. Story, how strong of a story it is. Is it unique? Is it new? Is it fresh? Does it work? And music, because Disney movies rely on music very heavily, a lot to tell their stories. Some of them are outright musicals. Some of them just have scores. Today is definitely a little lower in that category, I feel. I don't feel like we can... That one's not up for debate today. There's probably not going to be a 10 in music again.
No.
At least not today.
Definitely not today. I don't think any of them had a musical, right? Did any of them have a musical number? I don't think Dinosaur
believe...
Did it? No.
Bolt had 2 original songs. 2.
Wait,
and Zootopia had 1.
But did they? But it wasn't like a musical, right? Like they weren't like singing.
Oh,
right?
no, okay, definitely not a musical.
Yeah. I was like, I don't think any of these were like a musical inclined. Okay, all right, cool. All right, thank you for that refresher and reminder. And today's first movie, it's our favorite movie, Dinosaur. This movie was released in 2000. Oh my god. Yo, it was released when I was just 4 years old. And honestly, for computer generated graphics, CGI or whatever for the time, I'm not gonna lie, it looked pretty good. But we're not at that part yet, because we start off with antagonists and villains. Their villains were like these dinosaurs that were called the Carnotars. It's kind of weird. I don't know. Was that an actual dinosaur? Are they actually called Carnotars?
So here's the thing with the Carnotors. I don't know if those are real, because I definitely wrote this in Google Docs and it didn't come up with the red squigglies that wasn't a word. So I don't know if this is an actual term, and we've been sleeping on it, and I've just been joking because it's like, oh, it's like carnivores, but it's not the word. Or if this is like an actual term.
Oh, it is. It is a real dinosaur. Yeah. All right, cool. Wait, is it? Oh, okay. Yeah, they are. All right. I did not know that. So yeah, Carnotars, they were like this demonic Darth Maul looking dinosaur, and they were chasing a large pack of migrating herd, because basically the whole world was basically ravaged by the meteors, and so the dinosaurs need to get to the what do they call it? The promised land, the nesting grounds.
The nesting grounds, I think, is right. I truly, unless you said that, I was like, ugh. The Great Valley.
Yeah, they were all trying to go there. I guess they already knew where that was. Yeah, they are designed well, but move comically slow to poise any real threat, which is hilarious because Carnotaurs, being the equivalent of a T-Rex, like a child's worst nightmare. Imagine minding your own business and then suddenly a dinosaur. True. They were like, as villains, I mean, they were scary. They were definitely villainous. They didn't really have a plot other than we want meat, we want kill. And honestly, that's kind of all you need for, and like a villain sometimes you just need somebody I am bad. That's all you need to know. Um, and yeah, another antagonistic force is the stubbornness and blind determination of Kron talking about survival of the fittest. And that other one, the other one that was like following him the whole time, he was also stubborn, but he got like a redemption. They were more like anti-heroes, right? I wouldn't really. I mean, they weren't antagonists. They were like anti-heroes, not really outright villains. They were interesting. Like what was his name? The one dinosaur that like met with the Carnot. Bruton, is that his name?
Who met with the Carnotaurs and like
and lived.
Yeah.
Yeah. Bruton, he was like, yeah, I think about survival of fittest and stuff, but after seeing Alatar, was that his name?
Yeah, Aladar is the main character.
Aladar. Yeah, Aladar, he was like, you know what? Maybe it is good to stay together. But then he definitely dies, but he had kind of like a little redemption thing, and I kind of like that. He kind of saw what he was about. He was like, I can kind of change. I kind of want to live, but I definitely don't want to see him die. So yeah, that was cool. The other guy, he was just stubborn till the end. How did he die? How did he die again?
He refused to go with Aladar despite the fact that like everybody else did, and he's tried to climb up a cliff that was like the intended path.
Yeah.
And he just got like destroyed. I think he fell off a cliff.
Oh no, what's his face? The Carnotaur like hit him into a rock really hard.
Yeah.
And then he died.
Yeah. There's a lot of death in this movie.
Yeah, there really is. I thought old Triceratops lady was definitely gonna die, but she was all right.
All right. She was fine. The olds lived.
Yes. But yeah, as for like antagonist stuff in this movie, honestly, what wasn't too bad. They were definitely villains and antagonists. There was a force driving them, and you know what? I don't know. I think they weren't like super profound, but it was definitely a bit suspenseful at times. I'd be down to give it a 4, to be honest.
I'm leaning towards like a 4 or a 3, and it's only because I feel like the like non-verbal horrifying monster creature following you the entire time is a great villain, but it doesn't work in this movie. And it's just because they're the only things that don't. And I'm not saying I want them to talk, but I think the fact that they don't talk is more impactful, and it takes away from the fact that the other people do talk.
But it's like not even all of them though. It's only like some of the dinosaurs. Like it's
only
weird.
The
like
main character.
Exactly. Like no, that's a lie. When Aladar first got to like the new island or whatever from swimming from the other place, there was one dinosaur that said move out of. No, that was Aladar, wasn't it? That was Aladar.
So.
I'm sorry, not Aladar. Kron or one of those other guys that said move out of the way. I think that was one of them.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I feel like it went pretty well, especially for a movie in the 2000s using CGI for the first. Well, I mean, I guess it's not for the first time, but movie in the 2000s using CGI so heavily, and for what the kind of movie that it was, I feel like it was pretty good.
I do agree with that. I think they're very well designed. They certainly look scary.
They were.
I remember being frightened of them when I was a small kid.
Yeah, they're
There's
scary.
certainly no question that they're the baddies.
Yeah, you literally don't need anything else to know except the fact that they are there and you will die. And it's on site with them. It's there is no talking about. It's on site. Like you're done. So yeah, I'm down to give this a 4.
All right, I won't fight you on a 4. I may fight you on something else.
All right, let's see. Oh no! Well, I mean, all right, okay. Animation style is the next one. I'm sure in 2000s movie was a revolutionary masterpiece when it comes to CGI. But now 21 years later, this movie's just really ugly. Also, not a single dinosaur with feathers. Tragic. True, that's back when they thought all dinosaurs were scaly. I thought this movie looked pretty good. I feel like it held up for the most part. Dinosaur, like, I mean, there were some definite ugly parts, but for the most part, I was like, okay, this holds up pretty well. Also, I'm pretty sure that at some parts they actually just used real assets, like just literal real water and like real like mountain ranges and not actual CGI. That kind of tripped me up. I couldn't really tell, to be honest. I don't actually know. But if they didn't, then I think that held up really, really well. But I'm pretty sure they did, though.
I think they may have taken like nature shots and superimposed CGI animals onto them.
That's probably what happened. Maybe. I'm not entirely sure, but you might be right.
Just because there's a little bit too much that looks too crisp, and it's only background.
Yeah, exactly. It's literally only background. And at times I was like, wait, is this water real? I was like, I think this water is just real water. And I think it might have been. It was because like it was moving. So that made me think it wasn't like a drawn picture. I was like, but that was just me.
The CGI to make moving water was not there in 2001 or 2000.
I guess it was just real water then. Oh, yo, what's up, Super Curry? Yo, what's up, man? Yo, it was really fun playing you at Xanadu this week. Yo, welcome to the stream. We're doing our definitive Disney tier list, where me and Sydney go over the correct way to view these Disney movies. Isn't that right, Sydney?
Yes. Our totally legit, 100% accurate way to list all of these movies.
Yes, exactly. And then I decided today that we will do the viewer vote as well. We will do we're gonna have them do the ones from last week and then also do their new one this week. So that's cool. So yeah, back to the animation. So what did you think of the animation, Sydney? You know, aside from this blurb that you wrote.
It's just that blurb that I wrote. I think this movie's ugly as sin.
Really?
I think there's this uncanny valley when it comes to the characters where they look like dinosaurs, but like some of them have like creepy human elements. Like the dinosaurs have lips and they move really creepily and their teeth weird me out a lot. And it's just strange. It all just, I don't like it. I don't like it visually when you see them up close. When they're far away, it's fine. Like the Carnotaurs, look great. They don't talk. They just kind of scream a bunch. They're from a distance. They look intimidating. It's lovely. When we start having like these close-up images and they're like trying to romance each other by like touching their hands with their creepy little lizard feet, I'm like, I hate this.
That's fair. And Super Curry. So these are the Disney movies we're doing. Actually, I just have the list right here. Here is a list of Disney movies that we're going to be doing. We do 3 a week. We do 3 every Sunday. And that's pretty much the entire stream. So, yeah, we're going to be doing, I guess the total was 30? Or was it 31? 32? I think it was 31. I can't remember.
It's 29 plus 3. Because we did 3 last week.
That's 32! Oh, wait, hold on a second. Wait, am I bad at math?
No, 29. It's 32.
Yeah, I'm
bad at math.
I was like, wait. Yeah, so yeah, these are the movies that we're doing. We're doing all the movies basically from the time of the Disney Renaissance up until now. But we added 2. We added The Little Mermaid and a Goofy movie. Also, these are Disney Animation Studios movies. Besides the Goofy movie. That was like made by their Toon team, but I added it because I love it. So yeah. So these are the movies. Woo. Yeah. So I mean, like, yeah, Sydney, I definitely get where you're coming from with that one. I feel like I can give this a lot of leeway though, because of all it did and of how good it still kind of holds up today. Because I'm like, I look at the dinosaurs and I'm like, these guys don't look kind of happy. Now I will say there were some weird, egregious things that they gave to some of the dinosaurs. Like if you looked at the female dinosaur or whatever that was trying to get with Aladar, if you looked at her feet, they looked like heels. Like they literally gave her heel feet to help distinguish that she was a girl dinosaur.
I really hate when they do that, when they try to make the animals look more feminine, because like sometimes it's cute. Sometimes it's like, oh, they're a lighter color and they're like more curvaceous. These are just lizards. Just make her a little smaller. Just make her a little smaller with like a smaller face. That's all you need to do. She doesn't need to be a sex pot.
Well, hey, they had to do it. There was no other option in 2000.
They really didn't, though. This movie didn't need a romance plot. It's so flimsy.
It is. Yeah, but you know, it's like it could have been worse, you know? It could have been worse, you know. Well, okay, well, before we get on that, yeah, the animation like itself, I think the animation itself lends pretty well, but I will say there are times where it just actually looks ugly, and I'm just like, oh man, that definitely didn't do too well. So but if I was giving it a grade, my brain tells me at least a 3. What does your brain tell you, Sydney?
My brain tells me a 3 only because the backgrounds are nice, but here's my thing. For so much of the movie, it's just tan.
True. That's actually true.
Like
I will give you that one.
It kind of is like the Wizard of Oz effect, where like they're in Kansas and it's gray and sepia, and then they go to Oz and it's pretty and green. Like the Lemur Island, very pretty. The nesting grounds, very pretty. But all of the movie is tan with tan dinosaurs.
Well, to be fair, they did get struck by a bunch of asteroids, so that did level the entire like Earth. To be fair.
Except for these handful of dinosaurs and some lemurs.
Exactly. I don't know why the nesting realm didn't get touched, but that's cool. All right.
Maybe but, you know, it was a very small big meteor.
A very small big meteor. I mean, like in the context of the movie, it makes sense, right? Because when you have something that just like comes down and ravages a whole entire like plane like that, yeah, you know, you wouldn't expect there to be really any life or luscious anything. I guess that was also kind of the point, because they're like, yeah, it's dead. Everything is dead, okay? You get rain, you get water, all right? That's the most you'll get. So, although it is like, there is like nothing there, it makes sense in the context of the movie. You know, I can forgive it.
I can.
So with that, I guess the 3, is that fair? Is a 3 fair?
A 3 is fair.
Okay.
But not a point more. And it's a low 3.
A low 3? All right. It'll be a low 3. Okay. Yeah. Then we have voice acting. I don't know. What did you think about the voice acting and voice cast?
I didn't care. I truly didn't. I felt nothing for these characters.
I felt like none of their voices matched.
No, it's strange. There's like, I know they're trying to play to like a stereotype of like a young, naive boy, but like he's a lizard. It just doesn't fit. Though it is strange, I did look it up because I was looking at it with Adam, and we found out that none of these people really did anything else besides like these movies. I don't recognize anybody's name except for Hayden Panettiere, but she might have been like a very small child at the time. And Crone is Sebastian
from The Little Mermaid?
From the Little Mermaid series.
Oh. Okay, that's interesting. I didn't know that.
Nope.
I didn't either.
But, you know, I listen to everybody talk, and the old dinosaurs make sense. I think they're cute because they're like kind of endearing, but the main characters just don't do anything.
Yeah, I feel like I did like their voices, they didn't really match. I mean, I guess they did act well. Like the voice acting was well. Like they set their lines and it was all like well and good. But like I feel like none of it matched, you know? It wasn't like they just called it in and they were like, yeah, I'm just gonna say some lines just like off the rip, and you know, it'll sound like what it's gonna sound like. that sounds like they put in some effort. It's just unfortunate that I don't think the direction that they went with the voices was the best for these characters.
I also think they could have skipped like lip syncing entirely, and they could have done like telepathic communication almost, of like you can hear each other's thoughts and feelings for all of this, and like it's just kind of understood that that's how they're communicating.
Oh, that would have been weird. I don't know if I would have preferred that actually. I don't know. I definitely think like the lip syncing was the way to go. If the other option was like telepathic communication, I don't know. To me that seems weird, but that's probably just a preferential thing. But if I had to give it like a grade for like, oh wait, actually I do want to do a standout of a voice. I loved the tricer. Oh yeah, because you said the old. I love the Triceratops. All right,
Yeah.
I thought the Triceratops was great. She was her voice actor and like what they depicted. I don't know. It just felt right. It felt like it fit so well.
I think her name is Ema.
Was that her name? I definitely couldn't remember.
I think it was Ema, and then like the long neck dinosaur, the Brontosaurus was Baleen.
Baleen.
I just like them because they sounded like concerned old ladies.
That's because they were very concerned, and also they had a weird dinosaur that was like a dog. I don't know what that was about, but you know,
I don't know what he is like. Is he not smart enough to speak? Was he just a dog? He was the same kind of animals as them.
it was really weird. It's almost like in like Mickey Mouse or whatever, or like like in the Mickey Mouse universe. Like yeah, there's Pluto that's a dog, but like Goofy is like also a dog. So like, what's up with that? That's the kind of vibes I was getting with that weird dinosaur dog thing.
I don't know if it's that though, because at least Pluto is like quadrupedal and he looks when he like behaves like a dog. This would be if like Goofy had a cousin who just barked, but stood up on his back legs and wore clothes.
We only bark.
Like, oh, that's Ed. We don't talk to Ed.
Bark. That'd actually be super duper funny. But I guess as for like the score, like the voice acting, I don't know. I guess. I mean, I guess my brain is telling me a 3, but I almost feel like I can slide it down to a 2. I don't know. What are you feeling?
I agree with that, if only because I feel like I have no idea what these characters are supposed to sound like, but it's not what they sound like.
That's true. That is a good point. I mean, I guess because like the voice acting itself was like they did well in their role. I feel like I should give it that praise and give it a 3 at least.
Okay.
I feel like that's fair because there was nobody that was just like outright bad. Like I didn't hear anybody who was just like, nah, that's awful actually. So I can give him that courtesy, sure. Yeah. And then how did it age? I don't know. What do you think about its age, Sydney?
I'm not quite sure how to pin it on there because there's a lot of things that are kind of just funny at this point.
That are just funny?
Yeah, the whole time I was watching, I'm like, is Aladar a social justice warrior? He's like standing up for the weak, and he's an advocate for change and for not letting your elders down. It was very strange. He wanted to like protect the weak and the slow because he's like, guys, we need to all survive.
Mm-hmm.
But like, I don't know if that works in the animal kingdom at
well,
all.
Oh well, probably not, honestly. Well, I mean, it kind of does.
And I really hate the romance plot.
Oh man, you were really not feeling the romance plot.
No, because the only reason it happens is because she's the first dinosaur he's ever seen that looks like him. That's not a romance. That's just, oh shit, I need to mate.
I mean, he is a dinosaur, so like, makes sense.
I mean, yes, makes sense, but why did that need to be the plot line the whole time?
I mean, was that the plot line the whole time? That seemed like a subplot that just like that was like unfolding around the actual plot.
It was a subplot that never ended.
Did, you know, we got to the end and then they had kids.
Yeah,
we had to the end,
but
they
like,
had kids.
but there were so many instances throughout this movie where they're like, oh, the Aladar's got a girlfriend. It's like, yep, I know. And then like 15 minutes passes by, like, ooh, Aladar likes Nira. It's like, shut up.
You know,
Please.
you see the way he was giving her the googly eyes? Everybody knew, alright? Everybody was like, oh yeah.
I was too distracted by dinosaur lips.
Dinosaur lips. Dinosaur lips like weren't even that bad.
To you.
Yeah, they weren't even that bad, Sydney.
Look, Chris, I have a weird phobia of teeth. If it's a mouth thing, I don't like mouth things.
Oh, really? Oh, I didn't know that. Okay, well, then that's actually a thing. Okay. Yeah, I think the way it aged, I mean, it aged, like, the message that it's trying to send, yeah, the message is timeless. And it's like not bad as a story. It holds up in like a few ways because like it shows that, you know, if you stick together, you like, you guys will succeed more. It doesn't look bad, like, to me, like to my standard. Like, it's fine. It was a hallmark back in the day, I guess, in terms of its animation. So that gives a lot of people rose-tinted glasses when they think back on it. So that leads to people thinking like how it aged. There wasn't anything offensive about it, really.
It was offensive to my eyeballs.
Okay, Sydney.
Also, lemurs and dinosaurs never existed together.
You know, I thought about that, and I was like, it's for the movie, though. That's for the movie. It's fine. It's fine. But I mean, like, otherwise, you know, I think it aged fine. I don't think there's anything crazy or whatever. I didn't hate the love plot line. To me, it just seemed more like a subplot around like the actual plot that was happening because they were around each other so few times. But yeah, other than that, I'd give this another 3. It wasn't like astonishing or like outstanding, but you know, it was good for what it was.
I think this is a completely skippable movie and that nobody needs to watch it.
Oh, I mean, that's fair, but oh. So what would you give it?
I give it a 2 just because like it's perfectly fine, but that's like all I can say about it is like it is fine. It is forgettable. I will probably never watch the movie again. I wanted to see how bad it was because I remember it being like not great as a kid, and now as an adult I just think about like all the inaccuracies and how ugly it is, and I'm like, yeah, it's inaccurate and it's ugly. That's true. I didn't need to watch it to find out, but I have confirmed my thoughts.
Yeah, all right. You know, you make some solid points. I say a 2 is, I guess, fair for this. All right, you got me. Then we have characters. I thought the characters themselves, like how they interact with each other and like as like a whole cast, I thought they were pretty good. The only one that I wasn't very fond of, like really at all, was the what was Aladar's essential brother, stepbrother, whatever. Like that monkey with the crazy hair that he was always like hanging out with. He was
I forget his name.
I can't remember his name either, but I wasn't really like fond of him. I don't really know where he was fitting in the story. It never really seemed like he had a place where he fit in. So I didn't really care too much for him. Everybody else was fine though. Everybody else was. I actually really like Aladar. Yo, Aladar is a homie through and through. All right, he's the kind of guy that would never leave you behind for anything. All right, he's pure. He is so pure, and I love him. He is best boy, or I guess in this case, best Sor. He is he's great. I love Aladar as a character. I really like the contrast with the Kron and Braun or whatever. They were a good foil to Aladar because he's never seen anything like this. He's like, bro, people are just like not like together and like this. He's like, I don't understand. And Aladar really had to like, he really had to like confront that. He's like, okay, all right, I am best boy here, so I will bring all of us to somewhere safe because you guys are crazy. You won't listen. And I don't know. I really like that. I love that. I love Aladar. Aladar is a great, great character. His supporting characters, except for the frazzled monkey, they were all great. Pops, he was just kind of like alert. He was just kind of like mid, but he wasn't bad. The mother figure, she was so nice and caring, saved him and all that stuff, and she was cool. The old dinosaurs, they were great. I loved them. I had no issues with them at all. I thought they added a good bit to the story and you know, like it really showed how great Aladar is as a person or a dinosaur. Yeah. Yeah, I think that's all I got. So I think the characters overall as a whole, I thought they did very well together. I would be willing to give this some high marks. But what are you thinking about this, Sydney?
I'm gonna forget every character in this movie in 2 days.
Okay, that's fine. Is that it? You're gonna forget? Yeah, they're forgettable. That's
No,
all.
yeah, that's all it is. Is like when I was thinking about this movie before I watched it, I'm like, okay, Aladar, good dinosaur, and then that's it. There was the lemur family, and I think it speaks volumes to the fact that we can't remember the names of the characters in this movie because they're forgettable and they don't make it known that they're supposed to be remembered.
I guess that's an argument for that, but I would be willing to say, as I remember it from the movie, they all did well when cohesed together as a part of a whole story and a cast. Although I might not be able to remember that little monkey's name or the other two older dinosaurs, it does not mean that they are bad as like a cast.
No, they're not bad. They're worse. They're boring.
They're boring. They add to the story. They're like the garnish around a meal, Like, yeah,
Yeah,
do they do a whole
garnish
lot?
that you throw to the side and you don't eat.
But they enhance the meal. They enhance the look. They enhance the overall feel. Like although some of that garnish might be like, oh, that's just parsley. Parsley is part of the whole thing, which gives it the overall greater look and feel. And I think there is something to that. And I think as characters as a whole, when you have somebody like the old dinosaurs that are like holding Aladar back in terms of like, getting to like a safe place with his family, they add with like, Aladar showing his great side so we can, really fall in love with Aladar as a character. Whereas the two old ladies might be boring of themselves, they add to make a great dynamic, you know?
It sounds like we have one character who just has some really pretty clothes and nothing else because they're boring.
I think these characters, I think they get like a 7 or an 8.
That's far too generous.
I don't know. I feel like they did well together. I really do. There were some good contrast, and there were some good there were some good supporting characters for Aladar. And I think like as a cast, I think they did really well.
Okay, but like if we look at the old dinosaur group, we have the old lady, and the dog. Do they have any other personality outside of being old, and a dog for some reason? Do we
Duh.
have any personality for Nira outside of romance for some reason? I'll give you Bruton and Kron. They're good foils to Aladar. I get it. I'm here to fight for the fact that I'm not going to remember that there were 3 dinosaurs that were old because 2 of them are just old and old. One is tall old and one is short old.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, just because you don't remember doesn't mean that they weren't great in like making Aladar better as a whole for like the
But what
cast.
did they do? They were just old.
What they did is they were slow and they were old and they fleshed out Aladar more because he showed that just because somebody may be older or not as fast, they're still worth keeping around because they wish to live and everybody deserves that. And because that's who they were, that is what made them great together in like for the story itself. That's why their dynamic I think worked well. Also, they did have some things like during the end where the tall old lady she had to remind Aladar like, hey, you are the light that showed me that I can live, and I'm going to choose to believe that even if you don't. Like that's another thing that shows like these characters are growing, and I think that was great because it also showed how much of an impact Aladar had, and so that adds another like bit of a like, I don't want to say dynamic, but showing of growth of like the side characters, because he did that to all of them, and he did that to Bruton as well, and so that's why that's why they're great, that's why they're cool.
I
I'll
like
I'll
I
fight to
do
the
not
death.
agree.
I'll
Even
fight to the
kind
death.
of.
Even kind of? Come
No.
on, Sydney. Not even a little bit?
No, they don't deserve a 7.
What do
Because
you
you've given me validation for one character. What about other old and
what
dog and the entire lemur family? What are they doing?
okay, the lemur family, I don't really have anything for them because I don't know if they really added a whole lot except for the mom figure. I can't remember her name. She added a little bit. All right, she was compassionate, and that was very good because that's what kept Aladar alive, and that also is what helped Bruton or whatever understand like, okay, maybe surviving is good if we do it together. When she brought him like that like health stuff, so she did a bit. The other two, okay, I don't really know what they were doing. Wait, there was a third one, right?
There's the
What?
old one. Again, description of old. So we have 3 olds. We have 3
Okay.
characters who can be described as old, 2 that can be described as young, mom, and dog.
Okay, but the two old dinosaurs, they were great for Aladar's character, and they did well because when you saw them, you were like, "Oh, look at them! They're so nice and old and sweet. Look at them! Like, of course they're gonna be on an adventure together." And I think there's merit in that, especially at the end where they kind of finally showed that Aladar, inspired them. All right, I feel like that's worth something. Now, if we're talking about the female or whatever that Aladar got with, all right, I ain't gonna lie, she didn't. I don't know what her deal was. I don't know what they were trying to show with her. I guess except the fact that she was a girl, Aladar. So I don't really have anything for her. but that's only what 3 characters out of the whole cast. The the 2 lemurs and her out of everybody else, which that weren't like as great to me or whatever. But I feel like everybody else had something to do. I mean, the dog is just the dog, okay? I don't really know if I should. I'm not gonna count him. He's a dog, essentially. But everybody else had some merit. Everybody else had some merit, and I'll die on that hill. I will.
I'll die on this hill of not giving this movie a 7 in characters.
Okay, well, what would you give it then?
I give it a 5.
A 5?
Perfectly middle of the road, just like this movie that you don't need to watch.
I'd give it slightly above. I'd go to at least a 6. I'd go to at least 6 because Aladar and the foils were very good together. If anything else. And I don't know if a lot of like time in the movie, well, never mind. Forget that point. I don't know. I feel like if not a 7, at least a 6. I feel like it's better than a 5.
I'm stuck on 5 because there's literally, we're doing characters as a whole, and
Yeah.
all the characters we've mentioned have only benefited one character. They don't have an identity in and of themselves.
well, that's why it's not a higher score like a 10, because like when you have like a supporting cast, you want them to support the main character for the most part. Only when those characters like break the mold and actually like have something to give like on their own volition, that's when you get into like the truly great characters, right? Like when they're like, not only are they supporting like, you know, like the main character, they're also like them then in it of themselves like great characters. Like, yeah, and it almost seems like the main character kind of supports them in ways too. That's when you get to like to nines and like the tens and stuff like that. Whereas this, it doesn't really have that, but it does have a great supporting cast that has very, if anything else, very slight like individualism. Maybe not a whole lot, but if anything, only a slight amount. And they did have like some slight amount of redemption for like Bruton or whatever, and also like the tall like dinosaur, which gives them more character than just being old or an old cynical, you know, dinosaur, you know, circle of life kind of thing. And I feel like that's what pushes it over just a little bit to at least a 6.
I don't understand why they didn't give them even like one extra line of dialogue for them to have like a tiny bit more identity.
Well,
Because so much of the movie is focused on Aladar with this small group of dinosaurs, and I don't know anything about them.
Sure you do.
That they're old.
You know that you know that for the Brutus and Croton or whatever, I can't remember their names honestly. You know that their whole lives have led this pack essentially, and like they know what's going on and they're good leaders. You know that.
But they're not good leaders.
Okay, that's true. But that's what people think they are. At least before Aladar got there, I guess. I'll go ahead and give it a 6. But we'll go ahead and move on to story. We will die on that hill another day.
No, you can die on your 6 hill. I'm gonna die on my 5 hill.
We will
but
die.
I'm putting a 6 in the document, but it's not in my heart.
You know what? That's fair. That's fair. 6 in the document, but not in your heart. All right. Okay, and then we have the story. All right, Sydney, go ahead and give us a quick breakdown of the story and your thoughts.
A quick breakdown of the story and my thoughts of this movie that I could care less about existing.
Yes.
It's a movie. That's it. You know, I truly, like, I know it's about compassion and empathy and, like, Aladar's the big shakeup and stuff, but I just don't care. It seems like so much of it is just, like, thrown together, especially the romance plot line that was, like, there to fill a Disney quota. It just didn't need to be there. I feel like it would be stronger if Aladar just had a stake in this group for literally just the kindness of his heart and not to get with this random girl dinosaur who he's known for 5 minutes. I think that would make him a stronger character if he truly was just 100% good boy. Though I don't believe that he's 100% good boy.
He is a good boy. What do you mean?
Yeah, but that makes him boring.
But he's a good boy.
I like my men with flaws, Chris.
Aladar has no flaws.
Yeah, and that makes him boring, like a piece of white bread.
But he's so nice. He's so nice. But if we're just talking about the story, yeah, basically it's like what was that movie? Homeward Bound? Is that the name of that movie?
With
like the dog
going home?
Yeah, this is almost like that movie. Except
I don't know if that's true.
Oh wait,
I just watched Homeward Bound like a week and a half ago.
Well, actually, it's more like the next movie we're gonna talk about. But anyway, it's it has that feel like, oh, they're all traveling. Well, you know what? Never mind. I take it back. The more I thought about it, the more I realized this analogy actually doesn't work. But Anyway, yeah, they're basically just trying to get to like a specific destination. The nest lands after a giant meteor hit and basically ravaged like the Earth or whatever. And so they all need to travel together. Aladar meets up with a pack of migrating dinosaurs. Befriends some of the older ones. They're slower, so they have to get through with the pack, but they can't. But Aladar, you know, make sure that they're all good. Yeah, Big Bad are some Carnotaurs that are chasing them and wants to eat them. The leaders of the group are very mean and believe in survival of the fittest, but Alar changes everybody's minds. And yeah, then they all make it because they listen to Aladar, the new young buck on the block. The story itself, it was just all right. Like it wasn't anything crazy. I liked it more than I thought I would, I guess. But it really wasn't anything special at all.
It sounds like we can skip this movie. If it's a movie you haven't seen before, you don't have to watch it.
Yeah. This like, yeah, if we're just talking about like this movie, like, you need to watch the movie? No, not really. It's definitely very skippable. But is it bad? No, it's not bad. It's perfectly watchable today because this is my first time ever watching it, and I was like, oh, I was so ready to say this movie was so bad, but I don't know, it wasn't.
Well, joke's on you. I'm so ready to say this movie is so bad.
Okay, we have somehow diverged on. Who knew this was the movie that we would have the most like countering points on? I just think this movie is just fine. It didn't do anything crazy, but you know, I don't think it did anything like egregiously bad. I'd be down for like a 5. I feel like this is very mid.
It's like the middest of mid. So
Yeah.
I'm good with 5.
Yeah,
It's like it's not offensive, but it's also not revolutionary.
Yeah, it's just like okay. It's like all right. Definitely better than Pocahontas. Uh, let's see. Yeah, music. Yeah, all of his music is orchestrated. It's good. But you can't hear or appreciate most of it because dinosaurs talk for some reason. You hate these dinosaurs so much.
You're correct.
The music itself, it was very, very very orchestral and beautiful. I did not have a problem with any of the music. There were no musical numbers, but that's fine. I don't think I can give this anything more than a 7. Because I feel like there just like wasn't enough. And also, yeah, they were like talking over the song sometimes, or like the orchestral track maybe a bit, you know, ruining it, but you know, it's fine. So I'm down with a 7, but what did you think about the music?
I think it's like a 6. I think it's really good, the parts that I did listen to, but you don't have any time to appreciate any of it because it's just like snippet. I looked at the track list and they're all like 45 seconds because it's like those quick like interludes, but like they don't have enough time to develop themselves except for like the big sweeping number in the beginning, which is great. It's incredible. And then they start talking and it's like, oh. So the music itself is good, but it's not in the right space to be appreciated.
Okay. All right. I can go with that. I can understand that. While the music is well, then that brings up a good question. Like, if a music, like, I guess if the space isn't good, does that really impact like how good the music was? Like, I mean, because I guess the music isn't in a vacuum. It's like as a part of like any given scene. But should we be taking away from it because of the dinosaurs talking?
I don't think it's because the dinosaurs are talking. I think it's because there's one like main orchestral piece, and then that's just kind of it.
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying. Okay.
Everything else is just like a quick little like, oh, we're in a new location, so like here's a 45-second track of the new location's atmosphere. It's not like an actual score. it's like associated emotions. And I don't think you hear or appreciate them enough in the space that they're in. Basically, I don't think they're loud enough.
They're not loud enough. Ah,
Like, I did not notice any music in this movie except for the first thing and the last one, because it is like the main focal point. It's very much drowned out in the background, and while that's not a bad thing, you don't get to hear any of it.
okay, that's fair. That's fair assessment. I'm down giving it a 6. I'm down. Okay. All right, and our grand total for Dinosaur. Let's see if we crunch up the numbers. Let's see, that's 7, that's 10, that's 12. Then we have 18. 18 plus 5, that's 23. 23, 29. Gets a solid 29. Okay, so a little bit over half, a little bit better than, better than mid, I guess. Definitely our first C tier movie. Or wait, or would this be a D? Wait, what did Pocahontas get?
I don't. Where is the list? Oh my god. Open play. Oh no, this is not the right one. I think Pocahontas was, yeah, it's D.
Yeah, but what was the numerical value we gave it though?
I don't. I wrote down everything except for the Pocahontas numbers because I forgot to.
I wrote it down over here too, and I forgot to save it.
Ah, I see we're in the same boat.
Oh, okay, I might have to go back and watch the VOD, but I feel like it was like really low though. I feel like we didn't give it like any points.
I think it was like low.
You said low 20s?
Yeah.
Okay. Do
like
we
low to mid 20s, I think.
Okay, well then here's the question. Do we think it belongs in the same tier as Pocahontas? I don't think it does.
I mean, I personally do.
You think it belongs in the same tier as Pocahontas?
Yeah.
Really? That's
And my argument, Chris, and that I have been stressing this the whole time, is that this movie is boring.
And but Pocahontas was boring and also bad.
Okay, but that's the thing. Sometimes when a movie is so boring, it is actively bad because I'm not enjoying it in the least. If a movie is bad, you can poke fun at it, enjoy it. Dinosaur is boring. And it's not great to watch. And it's kind of ugly. And there's no songs to jam out to in it.
That's true.
It's got not a lot going for it. It's like if you made soup and then took out everything and it's just a bowl of broth. And Pocahontas is like a comically awful soup. It's like strawberries and, I don't know, a rosemary and chicken feet, and Dinosaur is vegetable broth in a bowl.
I think so. So I would say, even with that analogy, that still tells me that Dinosaur is at least C. Because I'd definitely rather have a bowl of broth than chicken feet in a bowl.
Hey, chicken feet is a great way to enrich your chicken broth and give it a more depth of flavor.
I'm sure it is. But I can tell you, I'd rather have something that's just... I think that something that's just boring is better than something that's also boring and also bad. Because I at least watched all through Dinosaur in one sitting, whereas Pocahontas, I said, wow, I can't do this. There was literally nothing happening. And it also aged horribly. I'm going to leave it in C tier for now, but it has the potential to move down in D. Well, all right. We'll come back. We'll come back to that later. Dinosaur's gonna make us start fighting. Somehow this movie single-handedly is going to make us conflict with each other so hard.
Friendship ended over Disney Dinosaur.
That would actually be really, really tragic and sad. It'd be like, yeah, I don't really mess with Sydney anymore. Why not? She said Dinosaur was bad, but I said it was at least like at least middle of the road. She would be like, what? um, but yeah, I'll put it there for now. We'll come back and fight about that later.
All right.
Um, next, is Bolt. Oh
Wait,
man.
you didn't show the best part about Disney Dinosaur.
Oh yes, yes. I saw this. I completely forgot about this. Okay, what
We
the
have to share the McDonald's toys with everybody because I owned these.
Oh yes. Yes, look at that. Yes, I love uh uh yeah, I guess that's Aladar. They're looking kind of like he's looking kind of like ET, and like I'm not going to lie, but you know. Wait, are these hand puppets?
Yup.
They're Oh
Yep.
no.
Oh, yep, they're hand puppets.
They're hand puppets? Why?
And I owned all of them.
Let's just take a second to look at these monkeys. You know, if you don't have the right mind, this can look like something completely not okay, to be honest.
You know,
but
they're just having a blast.
yeah, they sure are having a blast. Yeah, you're right about that. Look, it's Granny. And wait,
It's
okay.
old and dog.
Wait, they don't have the dog though. They don't have dog.
Oh no, it's what's his name? Bruton.
Yeah.
The only character with depth.
Right. Well, you know, I'll ignore that. Uh, that's actually horrifying. I've never had these toys though, which is, or at least I don't remember. Maybe I did, and
That's
I
for
threw
the
them
better.
away. All right, next up, Bolt. Oh wait, whoa, that moved like all the way up where I did not want it to. All right, Bolt.
Oh,
Bolt.
I did page breaks. That's probably why.
Oh, okay. Yeah, Bolt was a movie released in 2008. Disney movie. Not really sure if anything was going on during that time in the movie space. This felt like at least animation wise, it felt like this was like Disney at maybe one of its laziest points for the year that it was released. Honestly, but we'll get into that.
Oh man, rough year. Bolt came out the same year as Kung Fu Panda and Wall-E.
Ooh, there was no shot it was doing well.
That's rough.
Oh my, yeah, there was literally no shot it would ever have any chance against those two movies. Literally zero shot.
Oh, and the Naruto Shippuden movie.
The Naruto Shippuden. Wait, which one? Does it say?
Bonds?
I feel like I saw that one. I can't remember. But wait, is it Bonds Beyond Fate or something like that?
I don't know. It just gave me Bonds.
Wait, was it? It was a movie or a game?
It says movie.
Okay. Well, I have no idea. Okay. So in Bolt, we have their villains and antagonists. The villain antagonist, corporate television networks, is that even correct? Bolt was just trying to protect Penny and the TV station, brainwashing them thinking the TV show was reality. Yeah, I don't actually think there was like the most antagonistic force of this movie was the manager guy, for Penny, and that lady, or I guess not the lady. Well, I mean, I guess she was kind of bad, but what's his face? The guy who wrote the show, I guess, who was trying to keep the whole world hidden from Bolt.
I don't remember anybody's name in this movie.
Oh, I have no idea. I don't know if they had names, actually. I actually don't know. I actually don't think they had names. I literally don't think they named them. So, that's fine. Yeah, there really no, like, antagonistic force outside of that, but, I mean, honestly, it wasn't even, like, a really good antagonistic force, actually.
I just thought it was funny that was the route they decided to take. They're like, corporate television is awful.
I didn't really have any thoughts about that. I was just like, yeah, it happens, I guess. They didn't really make...
There's a point that I made later in one of the sections. I think it was under story, But I just have a hard time whenever Disney or like these big corporations write a story and the evil is like a corporation and it's like, do you realize what you're doing? Because I don't think you realize what you're doing.
They know. They know. They have to. The irony cannot be lost on them that hard. There's no way. I mean, I don't know. What did you think in terms of like antagonists and villains?
I just thought it was really funny that that was what they decided to do, and they made this like enormous elaborate plot where they're like, we have to convince the dog that he has superpowers. So we're gonna like manipulate his entire life so that he thinks he has superpowers. I just don't understand their angle. I really don't.
Well, the angle was because he believes like this, then he will act better because it won't be acting. It is literally just his reality. And they want that realness because it gave them ratings, I guess, or something.
That is like comically warped.
I think that's actually what the director said, like verbatim. He was like, it's because he believes it. I was like, whoa, he was kind of hardcore about this. But yeah, that's literally what they were doing. Honestly, I don't know if this was the best show of like antagonistic forces. They didn't really focus or harp on it too much, and it really didn't seem like there were like any consequences, I guess. I mean, Penny did quit, so I guess that was a consequence for them, but then they literally just showed them getting somebody else and knew everything was just fine. So I don't know. I'm honestly down to just give this a 1. Maybe
I don't think it's a 1 just because the antagonistic force of like them convincing the dog that he's a superhero so that he acts better is the driving force behind his need to return to his owner because she thinks she's truly captured. And at the end, it's literally just OSHA violations. So like they're doing bad shit. I'd at least give it like a 2, a generous 3, but I'm not feeling generous this evening.
There's
All
literally
these movies made me mad.
there's literally zero way this is a 3. There's just no way. A 2. I can kind of see that angle, I guess. Oh yes, Dan. Yo, what's good, Dan? And yes, this was Disney. You thought this was a throwaway Illumination film? I can see why you would think that. Yeah, we'll go with a 2. We'll go with a 2. You know, I can go with that. That I don't really feel too strongly, I guess. A 1 seems more appropriate, but a 2 is fine. Animation style. What did you think about this, Sydney?
So there's this very interesting thing that I noticed when it came to this style of like Disney movies, as that they hadn't quite found their footing. And after watching a lot more animation, it just kind of looks like Sony, which at the time wasn't a bad thing, but this movie looks a lot like Megamind in terms of its characters. Like everybody's got really big heads, really big eyes.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like kind of noodly looking as people.
Noodly.
Like the animals are fine. I have no issue with the animals, but all the people look very strange.
You know, that's a good point. They do look like what, like Sony or like
They kind of look like Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs.
Yes. Who did Sony make that? Who made that?
I think they did.
Okay. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, they it looks like, yeah, they did have like that style. So I don't blame Dan for thinking this was not a Disney movie. Cuz I feel like at a glance it doesn't look like a Disney movie in terms of like animation style.
No, it definitely doesn't. It is one of those movies that, hilariously, I watched this movie for the first time last year, not 2021, but 2020.
Yeah.
This was one of the movies I watched during the pandemic because it was just a movie in the Disney catalog that I had not watched. And I watched it, I was like, wow, that was a movie.
It sure was. It was like the animation, I don't know, it was like boring. Like I don't know the way to describe it. Like it didn't have that Disney flair or Disney magic. It was like it was like they just called it and they were like, "Hey, we need to make a Disney movie." And they were like, "Yeah, okay." do we do anything special? Like, nah, just kind of make it look, passable. And they're like, okay. And then they made Bolt. Like, nothing really like stuck out to me like animation or look. And I think that's pretty wild and not of Disney's usual standard.
This also came during when Disney was like really struggling to get their footing again in terms of like ratings and stuff. They definitely had kind of a fall from grace in the 2000s after the Renaissance. So some of these movies are like really rough.
Yep. Yes, they
and
sure are.
and it was before they'd kind of adopted like the people term it now as like the Pixar style, where like everybody just kind of looks sleek and kind of the same, like Linguini from Ratatouille. All the men look like
Linguini.
that.
They all look like linguini.
And they hadn't quite adopted that yet, and it may have been because they didn't own Pixar yet. I don't know when that happened off the top of my head.
I think it happened in.
But I
think
think
it
they
happened
were
in
trying to
2008.
figure out what to do with 3D style.
Yeah.
And had no idea what route they were going.
Yeah, it definitely felt like that, honestly. So animation style, I'd be down to give it a 3 because it just seems standard, but it wasn't anything crazy.
They bought it in the end of 2005.
Oh, they bought it? They bought Pixar at the end of 2005?
Yes.
Oh, okay. I thought it was 2008. Okay. Interesting.
That's even worse.
That's even worse?
They had so much time to make their characters not look ugly.
Yeah.
But the only reason why I don't want to give this too harshly is because the people are decidedly not the main characters.
Yeah, that's true. It's the animals. The animals, yeah, the animals look fine.
And like they look fine.
Yeah. So I'm feeling a 3 on this one.
I'm good with the 3.
Yeah. And then we had a voice cast, voice acting. I don't know if I was the biggest fan of the voice casting, I guess, and like their voices. It was basically similar to the Dinosaur thing. It was like, I don't know if any of these voices fit any of these characters. But I mean, like, they voice acted well, I guess.
I think that the cat and Rhino had good voices. I don't vibe with John Travolta as Bolt. I think they could have gotten somebody younger.
I agree.
And Miley Cyrus's Penny is like fine. She was like super big. This was a big thing for Disney that they could do it. It was absolutely a marketing thing. They got her to do one of the songs. I understand their angle.
Is that why they had the country song in there?
Yeah, she made it.
Oh, okay.
Well, she made one of the songs.
It makes so much sense now. It makes so much sense. Okay.
Yeah, this movie was Miley Cyrus. Okay. I don't know why John Travolta's here. But like question. He just seems too old. Because like the whole narrative they're doing is like Bolt is young and naive, and John Travolta's not young. He's not. He's like an adult man.
Yeah, they definitely could have got somebody younger. Like we definitely needed a younger voice for Bolt. I feel like more young, more naive sounding voice. I feel like this voice didn't really do it. But yeah, I thought the voice cast was like okay. I didn't really think it fit the cat or Rhino, but I mean it's whatever. I'd be down to just give this another 3, or were you thinking something different?
Nah, I'm good with a 3. The only reason I bring up like the cat and the Rhino thing is just because I think the cat has a good enough line delivery and has a voice that matches them well enough where they're kind of old, they're kind of jaded, the way that they're speaking, I can see it working. I think that's enough to carry up the fact that I don't know why John Travolta's in this movie. They could have saved money and not hired John Travolta.
They needed the name.
Man. But they already had Miley Cyrus.
True.
If you were marketing this movie towards children, you don't need John Travolta.
Yeah,
The way
maybe
I knew John Travolta was he was Tracy Turnblad's mom in Hairspray.
maybe I don't know. Maybe I don't know. Maybe they could have got some. Maybe they could have got Zach from Zach and Cody.
That would have been fine.
But yeah, 3 is fine for that. As for how did it age, I don't know. What are you thinking about age?
This is another movie that I think you can safely skip. The
Yeah.
first time I watched it, I was like, that was a movie. And the second time watching it this week, I was like, still a movie. Like, it is not stand out enough for me to tell anybody to watch it. And like, don't really get the message, except the TV executives are slimy and don't let your kids act. But like, is that a message that most people can relate to? Not really.
No, Miley Cyrus probably can.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Again, Disney doing the thing that's like bad, but I'm not sure if they realize is bad.
I agree, honestly. You know, it was just fine. Not super relatable or whatever. The animation was like okay. The voice cast, in my opinion, was just like okay. Not super memorable. People aren't gonna like stampede out in the street and be like, oh yeah, we gotta watch Bolt, but people put Bolt on and be like, sure, I guess. So
The
I'm feeling very middling on this.
the only thing that I will say about this movie is that it is funny. There are a lot of funny
Yes,
lines between the three characters.
yes, there are.
So
Yes, I would
it,
agree.
it is a good comical romp. And that's about it.
I guess that puts it at about a 3
Yeah,
or okay.
a three or a two. I'm not gonna fight you on that one. I
Nah,
don't really
nah.
care.
A three is totally fine with that.
All right,
Uh,
cool.
characters. I thought the characters were. I thought they worked well together for the most part. Uh, Rhino is like on Bolt's side. Like he never really thought that Bolt was fake. I guess until the end, kind of unclear, but he asked to have. I guess. Mittens is almost like Bolt's foil, I guess. Which is pretty cool. They come to like get together and learn to love each other and hang out and stuff like that, which is fine. It was pretty funny. They were pretty funny together. They did have some funny moments. Um, but like I don't know. I don't know if they did like amazing together or anything like that. I don't know if any of them brought out like the best in each other at all really. Even after Bolt finally realized that he was like not a superhero and stuff like that. The dynamic I don't think really changed much, if at all. Actually, uh, they were just
No,
kind of together. But yeah,
yeah, it definitely is strange because they're on the cover, they're the three main characters, and like they work well off of each other, but they don't really make sense in a vacuum. Cause like I do like at the end when Bolt realizes that he kind of has like his own superpowers by being a good dog. I think that's very sweet, but I don't really understand like just what they're doing. I know they're going across country, but I don't understand how and why they're going along for so long. Like, what is Mittens' stake in all of this?
I mean, she was like tied to Bolt for like a lot of the movie, right?
That's true.
So she just literally physically could not get away.
But after a while, he let her go, and she was just
Yeah,
still hanging around.
yeah, she didn't really have any stake. I think because like after that part, right? She got no, wait, what happened with that? She got captured or something like that. Oh yeah,
I think so.
yeah, she got captured and then they saved her. And I guess at that point she was like, I guess these guys are all right. And so that I guess that's why she stayed because she was like, oh yeah, I can help these people. Then yeah, I guess that was her stake because they were friends now.
I do like the small bit in the middle to end part where she tries to convince them that it's not worth going back to Penny. Just
Yeah.
because I do feel like Mittens's like struggle with trust is a very believable one because she's had to be on her own for so long. She's had to look out for herself and she's experienced firsthand that level of betrayal from a human. And
Yep.
it's almost like she's protecting Bolt from that, but like she doesn't need to because Penny actually cares, at least from what we see.
Mm-hmm.
Which is sweet. I do appreciate that. But I don't vibe with the three of them. And I do find it funny that Rhino is literally just hype man who's just there to like scream and cheer you on. You know, we need more hype men because those don't exist in movies very often. At least not in like animated movies where there's just like somebody who's like, yeah, you can do it. I don't know why you can do it, but you do it.
Like you got like you. I believe in you. You got this. You know, he was. You know, he was. You know, he was funny of himself. I did kind of like how they just. I mean, the way you look at it, they did kind of steal him from like a person. So like, you know.
Yeah. I remember not understanding that the first time I watched it, and the second time I'm still just like, does she not miss her hamster?
She probably doesn't realize he's gone.
That's sad.
Yeah, it was. So maybe, maybe Mitten shouldn't have been giving this message to Bolt, but really to Rhino. Actually, if you think about it,
It's true. Because like she has evidence for that one. You know, we took you away from your human, and they don't seem to care.
Yeah, they literally have not even tried to find you. Like, I mean, now granted, we would never see it because we definitely left the state not too long after that, so you would never even known if she was looking for you. But hey, we just assumed that she didn't. But whatever. Anyway, characters as a whole, what are you feeling? It sounds like you have a better idea in the state because I'm kind of lost on this one.
Nah, I'm also lost. I just want to give it like a 6 because they're fine and they work well off of each other. But I don't really understand anybody's motivation besides Bolt's.
Sure, I'm down. Boop. Story. This one is like Homeward Bound. You know, you got three characters. They're all trying to make it. You know, they're trying to make it home. You know.
But only one of them has a home.
Well, they all get a home at the end. I mean, I guess Rhino technically has a home. He just left to go to a new home.
He just moved.
Yeah. He moved. He just moved cross country. You know, no big deal. You know. Yeah, it's a big road trip movie. It's pretty standard. I didn't have any qualms with the story, honestly. I mean, like what he got. I mean, I will have one qualm. He got shipped from California to New York with no holes in the box. Bolt should have died, but that's okay. Or at least been severely malnourished and dehydrated. So, you know, besides that, it was like fine. Bolt being like jaded, I guess, or like completely confused about the real world. I thought that was I guess that really shows how somebody would react if they were put into like a complete, if they were taken out of a simulation where everything was perfect into like the real drab world. They're like, what? If I press this button, like I don't just get food? I don't understand. I did kind of think it was weird that Bolt didn't understand the concept of like needing food, because he definitely would have had to eat food, but that's neither here nor there. But other than that, it was like a fine story. You know, he met some fun characters along the way and feel good story, especially at the end. Oh my goodness, at the end it was so sad. It was so sad. I was actually just thinking, I was like, bro, are they just gonna kill Penny? Because like at the end, like Penny's like stuck in like a building or whatever with like a fire. And speaking of this fire, everybody on that set needs to get fired. They literally left Penny up there, and then they all left, and nobody even thought like, hey, have we seen Penny? Like where's Penny? Like, did anybody even think about getting her down? And they just left her in that burning building. They just left her. And then she was dying of carbon monoxide poisoning, and Bolt was able to bark. And I was like, oh, yeah, let's go, Bolt. Yes. Yes. Oh, you're such a good boy. And Penny's like dying. I was like, man, they're really going to kill this girl with carbon monoxide poisoning, huh? That's crazy.
Bolt is a good boy.
He is such a
He's
good
a good
boy.
boy, not Aladar.
Aladar is a good boy. I'll stand by that. I stand by Aladar. We stand Aladar. But I mean, like,
Story is fine. It's just kind of meh.
yeah, it's pretty. I
There's
would
a
say it's
lot of plot holes. We'll go with that.
I agree.
Just because the whole like TV story arc is like, I get it. I think it's horribly funny that that's the route that they chose. They're like, we're gonna make sure that this dog thinks he's a super dog, so that he acts like a super dog and doesn't for once question what being a dog is like. But then he gets to the real world and, like you said, like doesn't know what hunger is.
You're just like,
And
what?
like, has he never barked in his life where he didn't like level cars or buildings? Is he just mute when he doesn't have a super bark?
I just had no idea. But yeah, I mean, like, I guess what if we're giving it a score? Maybe a 6.
6, yeah.
All right, solid. And music. Music
There's
was
2 songs.
Yeah. I will say I was not a fan of those 2 songs because they were country and I don't like country.
That's okay. I'm not a big fan of country either. Like I hummed along to them, but are they gonna be at the karaoke playlist? Absolutely not. And they're pretty weak overall.
Yeah.
Just because the lyrics are like super on the nose. It's just kind of like telling you what's going on. It's also strange that like it's right before the schism with Mittens and Bolt, where she like tries to convince him to live on the street, that they play that song about how the only home is the one you've got, or like the best home is the one you've got because that home belongs to you.
Yep.
And Mittens doesn't have a home at the time.
Well,
she's just a street cat.
Well, her home is everywhere. Wherever she thinks is home, that's her home. Yeah. But I mean, yeah, definitely. That was definitely weird. And honestly, songs were pretty weak. I feel like giving this a 4, honestly.
I was just thinking a 4. It's like they're not offensive, but they're very forgettable.
Yeah.
And they're not great.
Agreed. And if we add up our point total here, we have, let's see, 2 plus 3, that's 5. 5 plus 3 is 8, and then plus 3 again is 11. 11 plus 6 is 17. 17 plus 4 is 21. 21 plus 6 is 27. Boop, boop. So that would put it right in line with Dinosaur, pretty much. It was like fine. It was like all right.
It was a movie.
Yeah. Not bad. Just like all right. All right. Then we have our final movie on the tier list, which which is Zootopia. Woo! Zootopia is a big chungy wungy. All right, Sydney, what are your thoughts about the antagonists and villains?
Oh.
Oops.
Is the thing again?
My bad.
I was reading, I was like, where did all my work go?
I'm like, what's my bad? All right, there we go.
Okay. Well, we get to talk about, Disney's favorite thing to do for like 6 years, and it's twist villains.
Ooh.
And this is a bad one.
What? It's a bad one?
Yeah.
Yeah. Was it bad? Yeah, I mean,
she doesn't have any motivation.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Like, and she doesn't even, like, she's not bad for long enough where you can have, like, a fun Disney villain who is literally just evil for the sake of being evil because they need an evil person quota. She just like becomes bad in the last half.
That's true.
Like there's not enough hints about her being involved in this for her to be a valid twist villain.
Yeah, honestly, that is a fair point because there was no, if you look back at the movie, you're like, oh yeah, it all makes sense that it's her. It's just like, oh, what was it really her? I guess it's not like one of those movies where you can like go back and like through looking at the movie you can now see all of the clues that make sense for this twist villain. You know.
The only bits of evidence I have for it after watching it is that we have the whole thing about how Lionheart doesn't respect her, but she's also like tiny and doesn't assert herself. So it's like I get that. The only bit of evidence that I have that puts her as the twist villain is the fact that, and this is in the third act of the movie, is that when they go to the train to get the night howlers, the people in charge of them are sheep. That is the
I guess.
only that is the only visual in this whole movie that is like, I guess it could also be the other only sheep character in this movie. But if you are not looking for that, the whole movie is just random animals. You
Yeah.
just be like, oh, it's sheep. Walter and Jesse, they made the Breaking Bad reference. That's cute.
Yeah, honestly, that is absolutely true. I mean, what do we want to count? Do we want to count like what's his face? What's Fox dude's name? Fox.
Nick Wilde.
Yeah, Nick. Do we want to count Nick as like I don't want to say like maybe like a slight antagonistic force in like the beginning or nah? Or is he just straight up like a protagonist along with
I think he's very much the word you've been
Judy.
using this evening, foil. I think he's a very good foil for Judy, and he's not an antagonist for long enough to warrant the title.
Okay. So if we're just basing it off of her, I mean, honestly.
And if we're being honest, Judy's the antagonist for like 20 minutes.
Hey, Judy's fine, all right. She was having a rough time, all right. She
misspoke. It happens to the best of us. You say the wrong thing, and the news is like, what?
It's it's okay. It's okay. She didn't mean it. Okay.
They should have prepped her for that.
Yeah, they should have. They should have prepped her for that. But I mean, like, it wasn't like the worst villain. Probably a 2, maybe a 3.
Yeah, a 2, if only because I include in the description too of like, I don't know what's her plan after getting all of the prey to be top dog, because like, what was her motivation to start? Was it just to be respected? But then you have the situation of, at that point, people are going to start forming their own hierarchy within the group of prey, and then we're going to have people who are like omnivores versus carnivores versus herbivores, and she's just going to get at the bottom again.
I have no idea.
She's not assertive enough.
She just wanted to be an antagonist. That was her purpose. She was like, I just want to be an antagonist, and that was all she wrote. Animation, yeah, straight up 2. Animation style, yeah, it looked really good. I thought Zootopia looked very, very nice. I love what the style they went with. It's the evolution of Bolt. It's like Bolt should have looked like this. I feel like they really like got it together with this, and how they were like showing like all the different animals and stuff like that. They have like a cleaner, more defined Disney style, which I think is really good, and it works out. What were you thinking about the animation style?
I think it's super clean, and I think that the idea of Zootopia is a really fleshed out one. Because even in like background details, you can see like there's a scene right in the beginning when Judy gets to Zootopia that you can see like the rodents taking like the little tube because it's safer for them, and like that's a very stylistic choice of travel. But like the doorways are huge to accommodate for different animal types. There's just a lot of love put into the animation,
Yeah.
and I think they walked the line of like anthropomorphic animal creatures very well, where like they're not creepy and they look enough like
Animals.
animal themselves while not going into like Animorphs territory.
Or else that one scene where they went to the nudist beach, that would have been real, real weird.
Yeah, like, that was funny. It's like, oh, haha, they don't have clothes, they must be naked. But it's not like, I don't dread that scene.
Yeah, it's not like you're going to be like, oh my god, like they thought this was funny, but those animals are looking kind of a little bit too much like humans. It's kind of weird.
There is no uncanny valley with this movie. Everybody looks enough like the animal they're supposed to be while still looking friendly enough to have like human expressions.
Exactly. I agree. I will 100% agree with that. Man, does this get a are we feeling a 5 on this?
I'm definitely feeling a 5 on this one, if only because the animation is so clean and it's so crisp, and they deliver emotions very well in terms of animation.
Okay.
Like anger's really well, sadness, joy. So you got them all.
Okay.
Clean animation.
I like that. All right. We'll lock it in. A 5. Voice cast / voice acting. Yeah, I really loved Judy and Nick. I like as we're Bolt. I feel like their voices didn't fit. Judy and Nick fit perfectly. I love what they did with Nick. They made him really sound like a slick talking. I don't know, almost like a car salesman, I guess. Like they really they really laid it on thick with him. Judy, the very preppy, kind of sheltered, I guess, from the world, but very determined. I thought they really showed that very well in her voice, and I don't know. I thought it did super duper well. Even like something like the supporting cast and characters or whatever, like the what's his face, the big lion or whatever. He did really well. He did. All right, yeah, that's definitely what a lion sounds like. I mean, I guess it was only, I don't know. There are probably more characters that I'm not thinking about right now, but I think the voice acting in this movie was done very, very well, and I think they casted pretty perfectly, like on basically every aspect, honestly.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that Judy Hobson, especially Nick Wilde, their characters are great. Jason Bateman has like just enough like slipperiness in his voice to be a great fox, but he also can he has those quiet moments where he's very honest with himself, but I think he fits that character super well. And Jennifer Goodwin, she's she's just so like sparkly as a human being. She's super peppy. There's so much like just enthusiasm in her voice, and I think that fits Judy super well. I don't know if they picked the animals first or the people first, but regardless, it's great. Idris Elba as Chief Bogo is incredible. We love him. He's a magical man.
Yep. He'll also be the great Knuckles soon enough too.
Yes. J.K. Simmons, he's the Mayor Lionheart. He's great because I love J.K. Simmons. He's a horrifying man, but he also has such a softness to his voice when he really wants to. And I think that's perfectly demonstrated in the form of a lion, because he's very commanding, but when he's under siege from like hiding that the predators in the lab so that he can study them, he sounds like genuinely kind of hurt and defensive. He's just a great voice actor. I love J.K. Simmons, even if he does horrify me.
Well, okay. Oh man, you know what? Oh man, does this sound like another 5?
I don't think there's anybody in this movie who's casted poorly. That's the thing. Is like
I definitely
everybody
don't think
fits
there
their
is.
role very well.
I agree. I mean, I don't see any qualms or anything with this. So hey, I'll throw that as a 5. It's definitely a great, refreshing, you know, scene. I guess after the other 2 movies to finally see people that are like, yes, everything is perfect about the voice cat, and this is all I need.
It's true.
Okay, and then we have how did it age? Honestly, even to the day, it's aged fantastic still. In terms of like the story it was trying to tell, the animation, everything that was going on about it, yeah. It aged amazing. People still love this movie to this day. People only say good things about this movie. Sends quite a few messages in this movie, and they all stick, they all land, and yeah, it's great.
I only hesitate with it aging just because it's a very black and white approach to some really heavy issues. And while I don't think that's a bad thing, I think in the long run, we're going to see a lot of changes to that narrative and that storyline, that this is going to be an outdated approach. I was talking with Adam a little bit about it, and I think that this movie will be a great introductory point, but like, I don't know how well it's going to age as we get older.
I feel like when we get older, people still look on this pretty fondly in terms of that. Like, they'll be like, yeah, the story I was trying to tell, I think it told it pretty well. But like, obviously putting a new one. How long was this movie again? How long was it? Was it an hour and a half, or was it 2 hours?
It is
Or was it 2.5 hours?
an hour and 48 minutes.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, to put like all the nuance or whatever in there, it might be a little bit hard and challenging for what they're trying to like say in this movie. So what they did do, and they executed it fairly well, I think people would like look back on it like, yeah, they did well.
I can agree with.
I don't think it'll age poorly. But right now looking back on it, and people still think that it's great, I feel like I have to give it a 5. Maybe in the future that could change though, but right now it's sitting pretty.
I just don't want to give it a 5 because I fear that in multiple years it will become outdated. I've been trying to articulate my thoughts on how I feel about the black and white approach of predator versus prey, because I feel like that's too large of an umbrella term, especially when we're not even including omnivores in that situation. But people who are predators sometimes, I think there's just a little bit too much lacking. And I think that the message is very, very good right now, but I'm not sure if it's going to age incredibly well. I don't think it's going to age poorly. I don't think these messages will ever be bad or outdated. I just think they'll be done better.
I think when talking about like this category, like specifically, it's talking about from when it was released up until now. Like in the future, it could change, but as for now, like where we are currently, that is how we should like really look at the lens of this when grading it in right now. But in the future, it could definitely change. But for right now, I feel like it's hitting all the marks.
I need to just sit with it a little bit longer, and I need to figure out how to articulate the points I want to make a little bit better. I definitely want to do some research about it because I hesitate to give it a 5. I deserves a 5 if in a very literal sense, because these are great issues and I think it's a great introductory point to talk about them. But there are just certain like wording and verbiage that just I don't know how I feel about them currently.
I think for now we'll sit it at a 5, but with the potential to come back later.
And it would not go lower than a 4.
No, absolutely
I
not.
just think I could argue it down to a 4 with more time.
Okay. Okay. Hey, I think that's fair. So right now, it's 5 pending. All right, then we have characters. Yeah. Characters are great.
I love all the characters in this. I think Nick and Judy are great. They play off of each other's strengths and they have those moments of vulnerability and honesty, and that's super helpful. All of the side characters hit in this movie. They all, even if they're on screen for like a couple of seconds, I remember them. And they all have like a funny quirk, and they always come back, which I think is something that this movie does very well. Is all of these characters just kind of like, they link so well together. There's no one who you see for half of a second and then they mean nothing. Even like when Judy saves the little shrew lady, she winds up being the daughter of the mob boss. Everybody just has this great interlinking path, and I think that's so refreshing to see a whole cast of characters who all need to be there, and there isn't like, oh, this is great, but you didn't need to be here, like all the old dinosaurs.
This dinosaur thing, but yeah, I definitely get what you're saying. Like in this movie, like everybody's linked so well, and every character means something, and I don't know, it just these characters hit different, you know. Nick and Judy definitely steal the whole show, because they are so good as characters. But like the supporting and like side characters, they're all pretty memorable, and they all do something. If I had to give it a score, I don't know, what are we feeling? I guess like anywhere from 8 to a 10.
I definitely was leaning towards 8, if only because unfortunately the only character who will bring this down is the villain, and that's Mayor Bellwether.
True. The actual villain.
It's the fact that she's the main antagonist, where it's like, so bad.
So bad. Okay. All right, yeah, I think that's fair. I think slapping an 8 on this is fair. I think it makes sense. Story. All right, Sydney, what did you think about the story?
It's the same thing that I have about how did it age. I think there's some stuff in here that I'm not sure how I feel about it, and it just goes back to verbiage and the way that it's delivered and things like that. The message is very good, to change the world and to do your part and to keep trying no matter what. I think that is a super good message, especially for a kids movie. I don't know how I feel about it being police officing, but that's another story. But I like the basic level of it, not so much being about like predator and prey. The way I thought about it was like nature versus nurture.
Yeah.
And about how the environment that you live in and that you surround yourself in will reflect your actions in the future. I think a really great example of this is the fox that she meets up with from childhood, Gideon Gray, who as a child was bullied to her and was really mean, and then kind of like had a change in character, obviously off screen. But they make that comment that he's partners with her mom and dad. So even her actions of wanting to change the world and showing her parents that predators aren't all bad, with her good work with police work and her friendship with Nick, that even she's able to change her parents. So I think the things like that are really great, and I think the messaging is very strong. I just don't know 100% how I feel about it. I personally think this is like a 7 or an 8.
7 or an 8? I feel like I would lean more toward on the side of an 8, if anything else. I feel like because of like the message that that they're trying to like tell is like it's kind of deep, and the way that they told it in such a not super offensive way, it's kind of hard when you're talking about this, but also make it entertaining. I feel like they did really well, and so that probably pushes a little bit up to a 7, whereas it could have been mediocre in like a lot of spots, but here I thought they were pretty tasteful with it.
I can agree with that. I think the messaging, even if it's not 100% solid, was handled in a way that it's really graceful. It's not like shoved in your face, and even if they don't say enough, they don't say too much. Which I think with the concept of like race in this context, where it's a kids movie, is a way better way to approach it.
I agree.
Don't say enough instead of saying the wrong thing.
I 100% agree. Yeah. So yeah, we'll slap an 8 on that. And then music. Why do I not remember any of the music in this?
That's because there's one song.
Is it the Try Everything by Shakira?
Yep.
What happens if I just play this right now?
Shakira will come out of your computer and strangle you with her hip.
Would strangle me with my hips?
With
Okay.
her hip.
Okay. All right. Well, then you know what? Hold on a second. Before I'll listen to this, ever so slightly over here.
Again, it's like it's a cute song, but it's certainly not the strongest. And I think the lyrics are like a little too obvious. I think so much of the movie has a great deal of nuance with it not saying too much. The song is just like, I don't know, it's offensively kind.
This song is boring. I just listened to it a little bit. Man, this song is boring.
It's fine. It's not good. It's fine.
Dang, I'm kind of. I don't know. I'll trust yours more on this because I literally didn't remember it, and I don't remember it in the context of the movie. But from what I just heard right now, found it really boring. So what are you feeling? My initial thought is a 5.
I give it like maybe a 6. Just because I think for an adult, this is like offensively terrible. In the fact that like the lyrics are super basic and the beat, we've heard Shakira songs. This is definitely, it's a little weaker.
Yeah.
But I think if you are a child, this is very cute.
All
and
right.
I think that's what I'm landing on, is that this is a cute song with cute lyrics and like an inoffensive message. It's like disgustingly positive. This is like eating a spoonful of frosting. And the frosting is just kindness.
The frosting is just kindness. It's just beautiful kindness. That's actually that's actually a great way to describe it, honestly. It's just like all right. I guess. Whatever. That's fine. It's for kids. Sure. All right. And with that, Zootopia gets a good old score of 39. And I think with that kind of score, we could put that in A tier. It's definitely better than Brother Bear.
It's certainly better than Brother Bear. That is true.
And so with that, yeah, we've completed today's. And I was thinking about it before, and I was like, you know what? I kind of wanted to get the chat, and it doesn't look like there's a whole lot of people in chat right now anyway. So I don't think this will be an accurate representation today of what people would want their part of the tiers to look like. So we may have to forego that for now. Yes, Adam, you are the only one right now. Okay.
Excuse me, I'm here.
You are a main guest right now. You are more than chat. All right, you are a special guest. Your vote matters. Okay, Adam, your vote matters. But you can't represent an entire body. We have to have at least 2, right? No, you don't get 2 votes, Sydney. No, you
I registered twice.
No. Okay.
In different states.
We will leave this as is for now. So all right. So we have 1 show in every tier. We have 2 in C tier now. I think that's fair. Some people might not agree with where Dinosaur is right now, but we'll talk about that one time. We are going to fight about Dinosaur. Sydney, we're gonna have to go. We're gonna have to get in the boxing ring for Dinosaur. Honestly, hey, we're gonna be like all these YouTubers. We're gonna be the next Jake Paul and or wait, no, Logan Paul and KSI. Yeah, our legendary fight over why Dinosaur is not.
I'll fight you on Dinosaur. I'm not gonna fight you on what the names of the Paul brothers are.
Okay. All right. Well, you know what? This was totally fine. This was good. Yeah. Next week. Oh, we already know what we're gonna be doing next week. And next week we are going to be doing Aladdin. Emperor's New Groove, and Wreck-It Ralph for our theme of the week, flawed protagonists. All of these are flawed. And now we are going to see how flawed they are in this. Oh. And with that, thank you for being on again, Sydney. I appreciate it. I love doing this tier list. I just love tier lists in general. And I love going more in depth with this stuff. And you are the perfect person for this.
It's my only area of expertise because it's certainly not math.
Well, it works out perfectly because I enjoy it so much with Disney stuff. Thank you for being on, and we're good for next Sunday.
Yes.
All right. Well, thank you for being on, and now we're gonna go back in the chat, and we're gonna rate some chatter.
All right, sounds good. I'll talk to you next week, and I hope you find someone good.
All right, yeah. Well, hopefully me too. Later.
See ya.
All right, guys. Look at that. Now it's time for our nightly ritual. You guys already know what it is. We have to find the next great Twitch viewer, okay? And this Twitch viewer is going to be something. I don't know who yet. Please stop. Okay, not you. So last time I said I was going to do one for Project Plus if there's anything going on. Let's see. I got a gift sub for one of the people you rated. Yo, let's go! Like, yeah, the people are like really nice in other chats, especially like small ones. I don't know if we'd have anything like that right now, but ah, damn, there's like really nobody. There's like really nobody going right here. I wasn't even watching, but I just went on Twitch one day and notification was there. And you know what? Hey, that's okay. That's okay. Homies are just cool. Like, chats are just cool like that. Hey, stop. Okay, let's see. Where are we going to go today? Where are we going to go? Are we going to go to Minecraft today, actually? We're going to Minecraft today. All right, so we got a girl last time. So we got to get a guy this time. Let's see. Who are we getting today? Wow, can I sort this by oh, low to high? Perfect. All right, there's a lot of zero Andes here. Oh my god, there's so many zeros. Minecraft is so large. There's so many. Okay, you know what? Okay, we're gonna do this. We're gonna do recommended for you, and we're just gonna hope. There are a lot of zeros over there. All right, let's see. It's 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0. Okay, I'm gonna go closer to the top. We're gonna get somebody about a mid-size. Okay, English. Let's see. Who's gonna get the sub today? Let's see. Any black people? No? Wow. Twitch and diversity ain't looking too hot right now, actually. Well, you know what? Let's go ahead and get... Oh god, it's so hard because I have to basically, you know what, this guy. Yo, look, check out our I don't know what's going on. Also, why can't we hear anything right now?
Your taxes.
You based it on.
Oh, okay. There
You
we go.
can't say they didn't.
Oh wait, the song? Oh, the song is so good. Wait, what? Chat, come back.
I ask like one of the designers, like Phobin or Zach, and I say, "Did you base it off this?" And they say no. They are speaking straight cap.
Yo, this is a young viewer. Yo, what's good,
They
Speedy
basically
Sloth? What's good,
pulled
dog?
that up on another tab.
Is there a whole tag for Black Player? I don't
And
know.
then
And did I see the new official P+ tier? I did see that. I thought it was fake or not fake, but I didn't know what it was at first. And so I was like, huh. This is honestly it's a pretty good tier list. I don't have too many gripes with it at all, really.
I'm not even kidding.
Honestly, yeah. I thought it was a pretty good tier list for P+.
The only difference in the whole costume is the green. It has a red jacket with gold.
All right.
Which is the same.
Is he 13? He might be, but you know what? That's cool because we're all gonna say what's up to him. Now, how do I rate again?
And it has
okay, here we go. Here's how I rate.
They're both gingerbread characters. They have the exact, and I mean exact.
All right, we
sword.
are going
It's
to we're
identical.
gonna
It's the
raid
same
this
sword.
man.
It is literally the sword they used.
What?
Like, it's the sword. Like,
okay, that was weird.
Exact same sword.
So, all right, guys. Remember when you get in there, say hi, say what's up. Try to give my mans a follow. Say what's good. Let them know your boy CP9 was out here. Okay, maybe not that one, but we gotta alert Twitch. The host of band combo. No. It won't be like that. Nah. It's fine. It's fine.
That was a clean.
It's fine. Everybody say what's up.
Wait. I didn't even know that was
Yo. He probably doesn't even have any sub alerts.
Thanks, Plushie. Yo, Neji, thanks for the follow.
Okay, well, I definitely rated.
What's that costume called, chat? What's that costume called? I forgot. What's the costume called?
Did I just get like?
Ready?
Wait, okay, yeah. How do you do that? Oh, wait, this thing is cool. Wait, how do you do this? I need to figure out how to do this, honestly.
He's a scammer. Plushie is a scammer.
Honestly, I have no idea how to do that. How to do that thing where like people like raid me or they come into my chat and I just give them like the insta follow. That's so cool.
What did you stream? Dude, Plushie is so mean. Wait, was he live? He might have been.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, it looks like looks like he's not too interested in me. Oh well, it's okay.
Plushie was live.
We will
The
we will
child
go ahead and peace
unpack
out.
is
You
in
have
the
a good day,
description of
guy.
any of my newest videos.
Dang.
Okay, never mind. You should definitely eat that. Can you please eat that like right now? Like, eat it, bro.
Yeah.
If you don't eat it, I will have to stab you mentally and physically. Can you please eat it right now?
And let's see. All right. Well, with that, everybody, I think it's time to say goodnight. I will see you all on tomorrow, Monday, at 7 p.m. EST. We're gonna be playing more Bug Fables with another question of the day. I don't know what it is yet, but I'll figure it out. So you guys all have a good night, and I will see you on Monday. Good night.